Hi, this is Matt from Australia's Envenomed. You're listening to the Metal Meltdown with the evil ice cream man, Dave Softee, on Metal Messiah Radio. Hi, this is Arnold, and if you're looking for metal, the only best place to listen to metal is on Metal Messiah Radio. Get on it!
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome back to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Melbourne, Australia, of melodic thrash metal band Envenomed, Anthony Mavrikis. We know him as Mav.
How you going?
Yeah, you're the lead vocalist and guitarist. This is your band. Welcome back to the Metal Meltdown, Mav. How you doing out there, mate?
Good day, good day. It's been a while since we chatted last for the last album or so. It's a couple of years.
Yeah,
It's been good, mate. It's
yeah.
been good.
I know that the album came out in May, and you sent me the link to your video, and I knew we have to do the interview, but unfortunately, with my livelihood, it takes me off the air for like 8 months, and I wish I could have been there for you back in May to do the interview, or even
Uh,
beforehand, but even in April. But I'm working, and it sucks. But thank you so much for your patience and your tolerance in getting this done. Because I mean, there are so many people that love your music, especially there are a few DJs here, especially DJ Joker and the Power Slave show. Joker has the Electric Circus. They're big fans of your music. They play it all the time, as well as I do.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, that's more than happy. I know what it's like. As we discussed off air, it's hard with the time difference between US to Australia. I've been busy. I've been moving house. You've been busy. It's all good, mate. But yeah, the album actually came out in July, so it's not
Oh,
that bad.
oh no, okay, July. I thought it was May. Well, I think it was it May you sent me the video, or was it July?
Maybe one of the clips got dropped in May, June, July. I think we dropped one in May, and then maybe one in June, and
Yeah.
then
All right.
the label released the album mid-July from memory. So
Wow.
anyway,
Yeah.
all good.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you back on the show, as you do have this latest release of yours, The Walking Shred.
Yes.
And this is out on a new label, German-based El Puerto Records. Is that correct?
El Puerto Records. It doesn't sound very German, but it is.
You're right.
It's yeah. No, they're a small independent label. Yeah, based out of Bellenberg in Germany. Yeah, one of the label bosses is Torsten from Brainstorm Powder Metal out of Germany. He's one of the label owners. One of the guitar players from Brainstorm there. So
Oh, very
yeah,
cool.
no, they're a good little label, and yeah, we met up with them when we went on our Euro tour and had quite a few beers and had a good night out. It was good.
Excellent. Yeah, I had an interview with Thorsten a few years ago, but at the time they Brainstorm was on AFM Records, I believe, and it was the Frontiers.
I think they still are.
They still
Or
are, but he has his own record label too. I never knew that.
yeah, he's got his own thing, and then yeah, they're through AFM, obviously. They're a little bit bigger, but yeah, it's good that they've got those connections. But yeah, they're a good little label, and they work hard, and got a few good artists on them. They've got David Reese, obviously ex-Accept singer. His solo stuff, they do his stuff, and Beasto Blanco, which is Calico Cooper, Alice Cooper's daughter's band. They've got on their roster, so got some good artists.
Very cool. Now, have there been any changes in the band since our last conversation?
Yes, there has. We've got a new drummer and bass player.
I wasn't aware of that, but I figured it's good to ask that because it's been so long since we've talked. Wow. So what happened?
We've got young Tom on bass, Tom Nugara, and we've got John Price on drums. So yeah, geez, I can't remember when we talked. We might have had Dave Lowe's and then Liam in between. God, it's hard to keep up, mate. Yeah, we're all doing different things these days. So
That's the way it
it's
goes.
hard.
That's the way it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's hard to keep bands rolling these days, but yeah, no, it's all going good.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I've had some interview requests, and let's say it's a five-piece band, and they say it's very tough to pin down doing an interview with you because we all have different schedules. I'm like, but you don't have
yeah,
to have an interview with the five people. Just one person will be fine.
yeah, just one person. Yeah, that's
You
it.
know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. Some bands they feel they owe it to all the members to be in on it. Like they don't want to step on anybody's toes or feel they're not
Yeah,
doing the right thing.
no,
It happens.
geez, get 5 people all at once.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
luck.
Right? So let's learn about this fine metal offering. Your music is very, I wouldn't call it easy listening, but it's very easy to listen to. Has a very nice flow. It
It's the
kicks ass.
mainstream
It,
metal, yeah.
it cranks. You could thrash it up and you have fun, and you sound like you're having fun while you're doing this. And let's learn what the process was for the writing of this offering this time. Who wrote most of the songs? I would imagine you, but I
Yeah. Look, generally when we start with it, I just sit in front of the computer and start riffing and I come up with the bulk of the material first, and then so we actually wrote the majority between Brendan, the other guitar player, myself, and Adam Bartleson, the old drummer. We put this mainly together. So basically, the way we started is I just sort of come up with a whole bunch of riffs and come up with 6 or 7 song ideas, and then I'd take them over to Brendan, and then like I'd get stuck and I'd get up to the bridge and I'd be like, oh, I've got no ideas. What do you think? And then he'd be like, oh yeah, what do you reckon about this? And we sort of flush the rest of the songs out, and then Adam, we'd sort of take him to Adam. Then after that, and he's a bit of he really likes his hand at producing, so he sort of would cut things up and likes to really produce the shit out of the songs, and we'll try lots of different ideas and all that sort of thing. And then, so between the three of us, we really flushed this album out. But yeah, so yeah, we wrote the majority with the three of us, and Adam, Brennan, myself, and Adam, the old drummer. So basically 99% of the album was done by us three. So
I see. Yeah. Where was this offering, the Walking Shred? Where was it mixed, mastered, and produced? And what studio did you record in it?
We generally we basically produced all the music ourselves. We
So.
haven't got enough money to pay Bob Rock or Rick Rubin or someone like that. So yeah, we basically produced everything ourselves. I mean, apart from the vocals. So generally, we track all the guitars and bass at home ourselves in the home studio, which you can get pretty good results yourself. And then basically, then you can get the guitars and that reamped in the studio. So you basically track everything yourself, and then they feed you clean takes into an amp and reamp everything so you can save some money and do it all in one pass rather than sitting in a studio with a guitar for X amount of hours on the clock. And then, so the guitars and bass were all done at home, and the vocals were done with Chris DeMelco at Monolith Studios in Melbourne, which his band is called Orpheus Omega. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I don't think so. No.
They're doing quite well as well. They've toured around. They've been to Japan a few times and been doing good things. But yeah, he's got a good little home studio there. So I tracked all the vocals with him in his home studio. So as far as outside production, he helped produce the vocals and all the takes and all that sort of business.
I see.
And we mucked around with some of the melodies and stuff with him. But and the drums, we actually, because Adam, the drummer, left before we recorded this, so we needed John, our current drummer, wasn't in the band yet, so we actually hired a session drummer, which is a fellow by the name of Dan Preslin from Neobliviscaris. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I don't think so. No.
They've been touring the world. They're doing quite well. They do how do you describe it? They've got really, it's like a proggy, deathy. It's really experimental sort of stuff. When they got violins and all this sort of stuff. But
I love that stuff.
Yeah. Check them out. Neobliviscaris. They're doing quite well actually. They go to Europe 2 or 3 times a year, and they're playing their own headline shows and all that sort of stuff. So they're actually playing at the Download over here. So they're climbing the ladder fast. But yeah, Dan did our whole album in a day. Their drummer, because he's used to doing blast beats and he playing 7-11 time signatures and things like that. So um, I think he did our album in his sleep. So
Wow.
he's pretty full on the drums, Dan. So yeah, and he did that in his own home studio, and yeah, we basically sent it all over to Chris at Monolith, and he mixed it all, and then he sends it over to Plek Johansson over in Sweden at Panic Room Studios. And I think he's done soil work and scar symmetry and some of the bigger acts. So yeah, he does mastering for us over in Sweden there. So
I definitely love those bands. Now, were you using what do they go, Pro Tools or Power Tools? What are they, Pro Tools to do all this?
Power Tools, yeah. We've got we use Studio One, which is a PreSonus program. But look, whether you use Studio One or Cubase or Pro Tools, they're all just editing software. It doesn't really matter which one you use. It's whichever one you're comfortable with to just edit your takes together.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the piece of software we use. But it's all much of a muchness.
The end result is fantastic. I really enjoy the Walking Shred. Now the new album cover for the Walking Shred, who designed this?
Yeah, that was a fella by the name of Logan Francis Gray. He's working studio name is Thrash Wolf, and he's based in Melbourne also. He does a lot of the local thrash sort of bands around the scene in Melbourne, but he does some bigger stuff as well. I think he's designed some t-shirts for Slash and some bigger artists, so he's doing some good stuff. But yeah, we actually got him to do the Reckoning, that Snake cover artwork as well. So yeah, no, he's a good little artist, Logan.
Excellent. Good to hear that. Now, how has the support been for Envenomed? Have you been able to have your fans support you by getting merch? Has that been working out for you, or do you need more support? Obviously, everyone needs more support, but how is it going for you?
Yeah, it's going great. We you always want more support, Dave. But
Right.
it's yeah, no, it's been going really good. We've got a bunch of merch on our Big Cartel page. We've got t-shirts, stubby holders. What do you call them in America? Hold your beers.
Oh yeah.
Keep your hand. You call them stubby holders over there. I'm not sure what you call them over there. Cooler hold.
I'm not sure what we call it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it keeps your hand cold whilst you got your beer in your hand.
Right.
Yeah, we've got CDs and all that sort of stuff. It's just at our, what is it, Envenomed.big Cartel. If you just Google Envenomed Big Cartel, you'll find all of our stuff there. It's got all of our CDs, our t-shirts, our old designs. We've got a few of those left, and we've got the new Walking Shred designs as well. So, yeah, no, the merch and all that's been going well.
That's good to know.
And yeah, you can go over there and jump on board with all that stuff if you want to do so.
Can the fans still go to your Facebook, Envenomed Official, on the shop link? It will direct them right to the Big Cartel page, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think there's a shop link there. Yeah, we've still got Facebook and all that. We the website's currently down. I think we still own the domain for envenomed.com, but I think the upkeep of doing it was a little bit too much work with everybody's lives, and I'm not sure too many people go on websites these days. So we'll look at picking it back up in the future. But yeah, Facebook's the main place to find us.
Right. I actually was on the Metal Archives and I wanted to see the homepage, and it wasn't there. And I'm like, you just brought that up, so I didn't have to. But yeah, that happens a lot these days because of, like you said, the domain, the cost involved in that, and to have someone design it and all that. Sometimes it becomes a tedious task, and more of the time, people are using their Facebook, like you're doing. So that seems to be the trend, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how effective, how much you really need a website these days. But look, it's nice to have. The drama was, I think Brendan, our guitarist, was taking care of it, and every time he had to sort of teach himself HTML or whatever the coding was, and every time you had to, change something, you wouldn't do it for be 6 months in between drinks of doing it, and I think it just, you'd forget everything and it'd take forever for him to do it, and he was like, this is just too much work. We were like, oh, well, I think we've held on to the domain name, so we still got that, but just for in the future, if we can get if somebody out there wants to help us with our website, give us a call.
Maybe you need to do the GoFundMe situation.
Yeah, go fund our website.
Or a Kickstart program or something like that to get the people to donate to you to get that done. Might be a way to do it. Yeah.
Nah, that's it. I think we're okay. If we can get something where you can get it really easy to do, we'll pick it back up, I think so.
There you go. Now, I know from chatting with you on the Facebook during my work, even while I was working, you were in process of moving, and I think you have recently moved.
Yeah. We just got some renovations done on our house, so we've just moved back in, and it's all happy days. I've been watering my back lawn, trying to get the grass to grow. So.
That's cool. So have you been out there performing? Have you had time to do that? Have you been doing enough gigs to support the band? What tell us more about that. And if you have been doing some shows, if you want to share with us some of your most memorable gigs of the recent past, you could tell us, what was the highlights of that?
Well, yeah, we did a small European tour in July. So to coincide with the release of the album, we did 10 dates through Europe. We went Italy, Germany, Czech Republic, Poland, France, and Netherlands, I think. There was so many. We went to more places than we played in. A few of the shows fell through. But,
Why'd that happen? What happened?
Politics. It was, God knows. I'm not 100% sure to tell you the truth, but I think because it was in festival season, some of the clubs shut over that time because everyone's going to, your Varkin Open Airs and Bloodstock and bigger shows like this. So the clubs pulled out on a couple of the shows, but it still was a really good experience. Though we played to some really good crowds in some of the smaller clubs, and we covered quite a few kilometres. We drove right across Europe. We had an Italian driver, our mate Alex. And he just basically lugged us in the back there with the gear, and we drove. I think we did 12 hours from Italy to Croatia one day or something silly. Played a show that night.
I see. So it sounds like you had fun, but you had some situations that were political, and some shows you couldn't get done. That sucks when that happens.
Yeah, that's it. But no, it was good. The most memorable one was probably the one in Croatia and Split. So yeah, all the people started coming out of the woodwork. All these metalheads just basically roll up and pack the place out. And there was a cage in the corner, and I was like, "What's this?" And he goes, "That's where the stage is," and we were like, "What's going on here?" It was like the Blues Brothers, No. It was literally, you were playing me on there, and I said, "Is the cage there for safety reasons?" And he was like, "No, it's more because of our political stance against things in the country." Blah. I was like, "Yeah, cool, man, no worries." For some reason, he's got a Russian accent too, by the way. When I described the fella, he's Croatian. No, anyway, we did the show, and it went absolutely bananas. People were shaking the cage. The mic stand was resting against the cage, and the mic's hitting me in the teeth.
Wow.
It was something else. The place was absolutely jamming. It was great.
Did you talk to this guy in your Arnold accent, or how did you handle him?
Arnold, I've come here to play music for you. I can't remember, mate. There was lots of weird.
I hear. But you said it was a nice crowd. How many people do you think attended?
Look, the club would have been lucky to hold 50 people, but it probably would have been close to that. It was only a tiny little like building, and it was privately owned. They had no in Split in Croatia. They don't have any metal clubs there, so the metalheads have to sort of make their own club. So that's what they've done. But
That's very similar to the way it is here on Long Island.
oh really?
You get 50 people to a show, you're lucky. You could accommodate 50 and 10 people show up maybe sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's
It
difficult.
really is. Mav, do you have any shows lining up that you want to spread the word on? Anything you have planned?
We've just played our last show for the year, Dave. So it's
Okay.
basically it's all wound down for the year. So we played after we come back from Europe. We did our Melbourne album launch, and then we did a bit of an Australian tour. So we played where did we go? Adelaide, Sydney, Brisbane, and Nugara. I think we did 5 or 6 shows, smaller Australian tour, and we just played Brisbane on the weekend. And that was our last show for the year. So that we literally on Saturday just passed. So that was a really good show at the Crowbar in Brisbane there. But just winding down for Christmas now. We'll get to take a bit of time off. But our first show actually back in February, we're supporting Artillery, old thrash band.
Nice. Yeah. I love the classic Artillery. Love it to death. Fleming runs off. I love that stuff.
Yeah, they're doing their tour here in February. They're doing Australian tour, so we've got the support in Melbourne, which will be good. And then in March we're actually going to we've got a clip that we've been sitting on that we're going to be releasing a video clip in March and doing a launch for that too. So that should be a bit of fun.
That's perfect because I'm getting to the videos and you're going to tell us about this new video, but I want to talk about the first video you sent to me, which was Abandoned Hope. And then also, yes. I also noticed there was a Metal United video. I noticed that afterwards. But I'd like to know more about these videos because the production seems to be stellar. You look like, again, like you're really having fun doing what you do.
Yeah, definitely. Abandoned Hope, that's the first track off the album after the intro. What do we generally always have a big, long, drawn-out intro on these albums, and then we're like, nobody wants to listen to the start of this. So if you want to skip it and get right into it. So, the first track off the album we called The Walking Shred, which is the first minute and a half of the epic build-up intro bit, and then it busts into Abandoned Hope, which is, the bulk of the song. That was the first single off the album, and we actually shot that all in my bungalow out the back of my house.
Nice.
So I had a bungalow that's it's no longer with us actually. It got bulldozed to make way for our renovation. But we just decked it out with every metal poster and flag and all the gear I could get and made it look as nice as possible, and we shot it in there. So that was good fun. And actually we spliced some of the footage with. We played there's a big festival at one of the bigger venues, Max Watts in Melbourne here, called Legions of Steel Festival. That was a bigger festival that we did June in 2018, and we had that footage, so we spliced the live footage in with the studio stuff. So we haven't done a studio style clip yet, so that was what we decided to do for this one.
I see. And who edited the video? Who was in charge of that?
It was a fellow by the name of Connor O'Keen. He's got a little business. He does video clips, and I think he does video editing and all that sort of business for his actual job. But he does stuff on the side. He actually plays in he plays drums in another local band called Triple Kill. And he does a really good job. So we're very happy with it.
Absolutely. And what about Metal United? That's the next video I've noticed of yours.
That one we shot. We played a show in. It was at the start of the clip. I'm not sure if you remember or not. It says that it was filmed at Black and Open Air Festival. So that's in the dead center of Australia in Alice Springs. So we're in the desert basically, and they've got a festival. It's pretty cool. I've never actually been right in the middle of in the desert of Australia before. I mean, I've been living here all my life. I was born and bred in Australia, and I've never been to the Northern Territory before. But yeah, that was an amazing festival. It's basically in the outback, and Ross River. It's basically this settlement where they, campgrounds and all that, and they set up a big open air stage, and yeah, it was just amazing. The outback and the country out there's absolutely wonderful. But yeah, we shot that. God, the fellas and company name escapes me of the guys that shot it, but they had some serious equipment when I think there was 3 or 4 cameras on us, and they got all sorts of angles and this and that. But yeah, that was of that show at the Black and Open Air Festival. And of course the song Metal United, that was an afterthought, so that's actually a bonus track on the album. And we did that as it's the theme song for the Metal United Festival. I'm not sure whether or not you know anything about that.
Not really, no. The Walking in Open Air Festival is the one that everyone's talking about all the time, but there's so many festivals out there, and I'm sure a lot of them I'm not aware of.
No, you're right. Wow, yeah, the one we played is called Blacken, right? So they copied they're trying to go for that.
Blacken, I got you.
Yeah, Blacken.
That's cute.
That's where we filmed that one. But so anyway, our good friend, he sort of helps co-manage a band as well. His name's Michael Luders. He runs a production company. He's a German fellow, lives in Sydney in Australia, and he runs management production and helps bands out. A company called Black Ruse. Anyway, he's put together this festival. It's called Metal United Worldwide. It started with Metal United Down Under. So basically the premise is on a particular date, all around Australia, there's a metal show on the same date, and you'd have 15, 20 cities around Australia, like 5 capitals, and then a whole bunch of regional shows, and it'd all be on the same date, and so it's basically Metal Down Under United. He did that first, and then he's gone ahead and done Metal United Worldwide. So last year, I think they had like 70 cities around the world on the same date, and they have a show. So it's a pretty cool premise. So I think they had a few in the US, they had it in Asia, Europe, Australia. Basically, he's building this thing where it's basically one date, and they've got a show, a heavy metal show all over the world on the same date. So yeah, Metal United Worldwide is the premise. So he asked us if we could write the theme song for it, and we were like, yeah, fucking A. So
nice.
yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, so it's sort of that's, I'm not sure whether or not it's a little bit cheesier than the rest of the album, and it was always supposed to be a bonus track. We wrote and recorded that well after we finished recording the rest of the albums. So.
Good stuff. Now, you mentioned just before about a new video you're planning on breaking out there. What will that be the video for?
It's a bit of a secret, Dave.
All right. Well, I had to ask. If it's a secret, it's a secret.
Can I ask? It's we're going to keep that under the wraps, but we'll let everybody know about that one probably late January, February sometime. But
that's when you expected to have it out there, like late January or February, okay?
It'll probably be mid-Feb. I think we'll release it for a start of March release.
I see. Okay, that's good.
So
be on the lookout for that, Metal Maniacs.
Yeah, be on the lookout. We've got something cheeky and cool that we're gonna do. So
very good. Now, beyond that video, what is next for Envenomed? Do you have any other plans lining up for you? Anything that you're looking forward to do?
Yeah, we're actually in talks with some people about a European tour for next year. We want to get back and capitalise on the first tour. We're looking at doing a string of dates with a a much bigger band, but it's not all locked in yet. And if I say anything, I'll give myself the moz. So I'll
Yeah.
keep that to myself at the moment.
You don't want to jinx it. I got you. No problem.
Might do another small Australian tour next year as well. We'd love to get over the States too, Dave. Maybe we can come and play some of those little clubs for 10 people on Long Island or something like that.
We love that.
Yeah.
But the transportation cost is going to kill you.
Yeah.
No worries. So, Mav, would you like to say anything to the Envenomed fans out there? Anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for all their support. And yeah, it's great when you get someone across the globe that, is loving your music and rocking out to it. It's really why, it's quite humbling, and it's really why we do this, it's from the minute you write the riff until when you record it and all gets mixed and mastered, and then that's the magic of it. That, when I'm dead and gone, it's calming to know that your music will live on forever, whether or not 5 or 10 people hear it in 100 years. But just the mere fact that you got people across the globe or whoever it might be that's rocking out to your music is it's awesome. I can't thank people enough.
That's cool. That's very cool. And before we go crank out more Envenomed, I just want to make sure that we got everything that we could out there to the fans. I want to make sure we got everybody caught up to what's going on with Envenomed. Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss that we have yet to discuss? Anything that you want to bring out there that we haven't done yet?
What do I do? Well, I'm an appliance repairer by trade, so I run my own business doing we do a lot of real estate work for rentals, so I fix ovens and dishwashers and stoves and things like that. But that's just my day job, Dave. Where at night I moonlight as a rocker, as you know. Apart from that, yeah, I like cars and, what else? I wouldn't mind going for a bit of a fish, this and that. I've got some holidays coming up over Christmas, so want to go fishing. Me and a friend of mine, have you heard of a power metal band called Black Majesty?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm a good friend of Hanny, the guitar player. He in another Melbourne band. So me and him go fishing over the Christmas holidays, but we go fishing in all the shithole creeks around the area. we like to go and buy a $5 Kmart rod and try our luck with some cheese. Last year we caught an eel in the creek 5 minutes from my house, which was good fun.
Nice. Sounds like fun. Well, yeah. I've enjoyed catching up with you, Mav, and I want to wish you happy holidays and a really happy new year. And I'll still be doing this in the middle of February, or the end of February to the middle of March. So when that video is unleashed, hit me up and I'll start spreading it for you. We'll do what we can, because we are all here in the underground and we're here to help each other, support each other, and do what we can. So until the next time, and I'm sure, I'm hopeful there'll be many other times that we get to do an interview with you for Envenomed or whatever else you have going on. But again, I want to thank you for your patience in getting this done. With everything, like, there's always obstacles, but we can conquer them. Don't let those obstacles win.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks for having us, and thank you for your patience as well. Really appreciate the support. And thanks to everyone on your show and your other staff members, like you mentioned before, that everyone's who's into the band. Thank you very much for your support.
Absolutely. And keep in touch, and let's go crank up some more Envenomed, and let's crank it up loud.
When I'm having my cup of tea and biscuits, I like to listen to Envenomed because they are fantastic. On Metal Messiah Radio, be there.